Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we're talking about the San Antonio Spurs, what to expect from them this season. And I want to hear three things from you. First off, what do you think the Spurs record will be? What do you think the expectation for this season is? And third off, who do you think is going to be the X factor, not including Keldon Johnson? I think this is the year either Tre Jones, Devin Vassell. Tre Jones and Devin Vassell are my two guys, I think. Yeah, that's who I think. Devin Vassell, becomes like a 17, maybe 19 points per game guy. And Tre Jones follows the footsteps of his brother, Tyus Jones of the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's talk about this team. There's a lot to hear. I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section before we continue. But besides that, hit the subscribe button. We're on the way to 10,000. We just hit 8,000. And guess what? We post 150 videos a month, 5 videos a day regarding every facet of the NBA. So if you guys want to be staying up to date, hit that subscribe button and let's get right into the video. And now, first off, what's the big thing with this team? Well, I want to tell you guys the roster. They have two guys on two ways, Jordan Hall and Dom Barlow. Okay, Dom Barlow from the Overtime Elite and Jordan Hall from St. Joseph. Jordan Hall is literally Kyle Anderson 2.0. Dom Barlow is a poor man's Blake Griffin. Keita Bates-Diop, Malachi Branham, Zach Collins, Gorgie Dang, Alize Johnson, Keldon Johnson, Tre Jones, Tommy Kuzi, Romeo Langford, Doug McDermott, Jakob Pertl, Josh Primo, Josh Richardson, Isaiah Roby, Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell, Blake Wesley, and Joe Wieskamp are all on this roster. And I believe that because they're currently, they have 4 guys there, another 8, 12, 15, 18. So they have to cut 3 guys, and I think 3 guys they'll cut are, here we go, Tommy Kuzi, probably Alize Johnson. Then you also assume, who's the final cut? It's either going to be Keita Bates-Diop. Yeah, it's probably going to be Keita Bates-Diop or Romeo Langford. Okay? I want to hear your opinions on who they'll cut. But what's the biggest question with this team currently? Who's the backup point guard? So, on paper, it's Tre Jones. And everybody's saying this team is definitely tanking. They want Victor Wembanyama. They've won the lottery only twice. And those 2 times they got themselves the Admiral, David Robinson, and then the greatest. One of the greatest power forwards of all time. I'm a big Kevin Garnett fan, so a little biased, but Tim Duncan. And look, on paper, the starting day. Like, look, the rosters, we know what it is probably 2 through 5, what the lineup is. But at the point guard position, it looks like it's Tre Jones' opening day starter. This is a guy who avoids turnovers and keeps the machine moving, but he's not a scorer, or he doesn't really scare you if he needs to shoot, because he shot 19.6% from 3 last year. And behind him are Blake Wesley and Malachi Branham. Malachi Branham is more of a swingman, shooting guard, small forward. Blake Wesley is more of a combo guard, but both of them are one-and-dones who might normally rookies get a lot of time in Austin with the Austin Spurs. So in best case scenarios, both projects are more of combo guards / wings. And one wonders if Josh Richardson will end up, running some point to help ease the overcrowded position of shooting guard. Or even Josh Primo could get some minutes as a backup point guard in big lineups, although they might have to focus on him figuring out his more natural position of shooting guard, small forward before they try to do anything like that. Now, when I look at the current roster, this is what I see. I see a current roster starting lineup with Tre Jones. I think personally, this is what I would do if they're going to keep running Keldon Johnson at power forward, which I personally don't think they'll continue to do in the future. I think eventually Jeremy Sohan will be there, but there's a great lineup would be Pertl, Isaiah Roby, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, and Tre Jones. But that's probably not going to happen. Tre Jones, Josh Richardson, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jakob Pertl would probably be the starting lineup, with Josh Primo, Doug McDermott, and Isaiah Roby as the first 3 guys off the bench, followed by Zach Collins as the 9th guy, and then probably Gorgie Dang. And that's your 10-guy rotation. You're not going to really see Blake Wesley. You're not going to really see Jeremy Sohan. You're really not going to see Malachi Branham. You might actually see more of Joe Wieskamp than any of those guys. Same thing with, Jordan Hall and our man Don Barlow. You're not really going to see them. And I personally think the center rotation is probably going to be Pirtle, Collins, Roby, and Dang. And then at power forward, Doug McDermott's probably going to be backing him up there with Isaiah Roby's help. But yeah, I think starting lineup: Pirtle, Johnson, Vassell, Richardson, Jones. Then you have, first 9 or 10 guys off the bench: Roby, Collins, McDermott, Primo, and Wisekamp. And then you have Gorgie Dang and Romeo Langford after that, and Keita Bates. And that's basically right there. You're like 15-man guys right there, 1 through 15. And with Blake Wesley, Jeremy Sawyer, Malachi Branham, and just rounding out, garbage time. Again, I don't think Tommy Kuzi and Alize Johnson are going to make the team. I wouldn't be surprised if Romeo Langford or Keita get cut. And that's not me being rude. That's just being honest. And it isn't like these are bad players or anything, or they're not good enough to be in the NBA. Just think this team is tanking. They rather just have a bunch of young guys than anyone. I mean, they're going to still try maybe by, see sometime in the season, as training camp has already started. But maybe by sometime in the season or something, we see Doug McDermott get traded or Pirtle get traded. I think they should keep Pirtle, but hey, maybe they don't. I think Pirtle's a top 10 defensive center. He just had a career year. But when I look at this, I think Devin Vassell, I want to see him take that jump. I really do want to see Tre Jones kind of look like his brother, show us some shooting ability. And it sucks we don't see any rookies, but I think Isaiah Roby, a guy who can play power forward center, will be fun. That's kind of their first small ball guy in a while. Zach Collins, he's still trying to show that he's worth, was worth a lottery pick for the Portland Trail Blazers, but just in general showing that he has a place in this league more than just being a backup player, being, kind of a 3-and-D big. And I think he could give Pirtle a run for his money and maybe show him that, hey, maybe we should move on from Pirtle to keep giving Collins a shot. I've liked Collins. I've always thought he was a fun guy. And, they have him for 1 more year. His contract doesn't expire until 2024. They had him on a 3-year deal, which was not a bad deal whatsoever. But yeah, I think Primo and Tre Jones and Vassell are the 3 guys that I'm most excited to watch on this team. Obviously, Keldon Johnson's going to be the leading scorer, but we all know how good he is already. So it's just it's almost like beating a broken record. But I think that's where we're at for today's episode. I want to hear any thoughts that you guys feel like I missed, but that's basically it for me. Hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. Comment, subscribe, do all that good jazz. I'll talk to you guys in a later date, but hey, thank you for watching, seriously. Well, peace out, A-Town style, bye.